How are you doing?
Okay.
I just want to ask you 2 questions.
Yes.
So the first question, what are three branches of government?
The three
Uh,
branch of
yes,
government.
yes,
I think we have executive,
yes.
judicial, and the legislative.
Legislative, marvelous. Hello,
Hello,
how are you doing?
I'm fine.
I just want to ask you a few questions. Yeah, the first question, what are three branches of government?
Three branches of government.
Yes,
Actually, I know judicial,
yes,
legislative,
yes,
and executive.
and legislative. Marvelous. What are the three branches of government? The common misconception people have about the branches of government, they know that the chain of those branches starts with the executive. However, the chain starts with the legislative, executive, and judicial. So each branch plays an important role because the legislative branch makes laws in the United States, executive branch also enforcing or implementing the laws, and the judicial branch regulates the law. The follow-up question, what does each branch do?
Judicial,
Mm-hmm.
they judge.
Okay.
Legislative,
Mm-hmm.
they use it to make that laws.
Yes.
And executive,
Yeah.
they implement.
The implement. The second question, what does each branch do?
Each branch,
Yeah,
actually, if I remember,
yeah,
judicial is actually, if you understand about the judicial, you understand about the judges.
judges.
So these are the people who are in charge of protecting
Yeah,
and protecting the laws.
yes.
So another one is executive. Those are the one who implemented those laws.
Yes.
Through action is what it. So another one is legislative. Legislative, those are the one who invent laws.
How are they connected? Of course, we have three branches. The first of all, we have the legislative branch. The second also we have the executive, and the third one we have the judicial. So they are connected in terms of operation because the legislative branch is the branch that makes all laws and regulates federal and foreign commerce, as well as the controlling the taxes and spending policies of the government. So the US Senate included in the legislative branch. And then for the executive branch, is a branch responsible for enforcing the laws created by the legislative branch. As I've said that they are connected in terms of operations. The office of the president, or what we call the White House, is included also in the executive branch. So again, the third one is judicial. It's a branch that legislates the laws established by the legislative branch, and the U.S. Supreme Court and the Federal Judicial Center included in the judicial branch. So how do they regulate each other? So the common misconception people have, they believe that the executive branch controls all branches, but it's not true. The way each branch is regulated in the US, the legislative branch introduces the laws and votes on a proposal for a new law. Then the proposal goes to the executive branch where the president decides whether the bill is good for the country or not. If he signs the bill, it becomes a law. Then if the president doesn't think that the bill is not good for the country, he doesn't sign it. So, however, when the president doesn't sign it, the executive branch can get or can overrule the power of the president, and the bill becomes a law. When the law is in place, the people of the country can test it through that law, uh, and then if someone believes that a law is unfair, a lawsuit comes. Then the lawyer make an argument for and against the case, and a judge decides which side has presented the most convincing argument. So the side that loses can choose to appeal to a higher court and may eventually reach to the Supreme Court. Then if the legislative branch does not agree with how the judicial branch has interpreted the law, they can introduce a new piece of legislation and the process starts all over again. So, in the United States of America, we have two major parties, which are Democrats and Republicans. Can you name another party?
Another party?
Yes.
Actually, as I know that the United States
Yeah.
have only two, which are Republicans and Democrats. But I've heard that there is the other minor parties, for instance, like Green Party, and I don't know. I know that.
The third question, in the United States of America, we have two major parties, which are the Republicans and Democrats. So
Yes.
can you name another party?
Yes. Another party is Green Party.
The two-party system has started after the American Revolution, brought by the two people who had different views about how the United States should be governed after getting the independence. They were the leaders of the two political parties. Alexander Hamilton was the leader of Federalists, and Thomas Jefferson was the leader of Democratic Republicans. Alexander Hamilton believed that for the United States to be successful, it will have to be formed in a similar way to the British imperial model of government that had been so successful. So he believed that the treasury and financial sector and the national army, as well as the political executive representing the interests of all the states. However, Jefferson believed that the central treasury and the national army would give the central government with much power and economy motivated by finance, also led to reckless gambling. So he was against the monarch system was used in Britain, and he believed that the political power should reside with individual states and their legislatures, not in a central government. This is how the two-party system started, by the disagreements raised about how the United States should be governed. So, what impact do the third minor party has on the national politics? And remember that we have also the third parties like Green Party, like Libertarian also party. So in the United States, we have the third parties play an important role in organizing and mobilizing people to participate in the elections and putting pressure on candidates from major political parties to address the issues of the United States citizens. And again, they increase the competition between the parties to strive for their good life of the United States. For instance, in 1968, the segregationist American Independent Party candidate, who was called George Wallace, gained 30.5% of the popular vote in that election. So, in a response to the Republican Party adopted what they call a Southern strategy to win the support of conservative Democrats in the South who opposed the new civil rights.
What is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
Yes. They use the voting through people.
What is the basic process by which a bill becomes law?
A bill.
Yes, a bill.
The basic process for me, I think, is it's through voting. Because United States people they have democracy to everybody. So in the case they want to make a law, to make a bill a law,
Yeah.
it first pass through the people, then they vote. After the government look at the majority.
A bill to become a law must follow these 9 steps. The first one, we have the bill draft. The second, there was introduction of a bill. The third, the bill goes to the committee, and committee also nominates what we call the subcommittee and then review the bill. Then also we have what we call the committee markup, chamber of votes, referral of the bill. Bill also goes to the president and overriding a veto. So many people have confusion about the power of the president in the process of making a law. So any member of the Congress who has an idea of proposing a new law can draft a bill. The idea comes from the Congress members or an advocacy group. So the people who support the bill are called the co-sponsors. After the bill is crafted, it needs to be introduced. If a representative of the citizens have sponsored, the bill is introduced in the House. And then if a senator is a sponsor, the bill is introduced in the Senate. Then the bill goes to the committee, which is composed of members from the House and Senate who are interested in different topics such as health and international affairs. So the work of those people is to examine the bill and determine instances of passage in the Congress. For doing that work, they may choose to hold hearings to understand the implications of the bill. The committee also nominates the subcommittees to have a further specialization on a certain topic. So when the hearings and the subcommittee review is completed, the committee does what we call the markup. They do necessary changes before recommending the bill. So if the committee votes not to report a proposed law to the full chamber of the Congress, the bill dies or failed. So if the committee votes in favor of the bill, it is reported to the floor. But then when the bill reaches to the floor, there is an additional debate, and the members of the full chamber to vote in order to approve those changes. Then the bill, when passed or defeated by the member, it should be passed or defeated by the members according to the votes. So when the House or Senate passes a bill, it will refer to the other chamber, where it usually follows the same route through committees and finally to the floor. Then Congress forms the conference committee to resolve the differences between the House and Senate versions of a bill. So when the conference committee failed to reach on the same decision, the bill dies. But when they reached the same decision, the bill is successfully and they prepare a report for recommending the bill. So House and the Senate need also to vote to approve the conference report. So when the House and Senate have approved the bill, it's sent to the president. Then if a president signs the bill, it becomes the law. But when he doesn't sign the bill, they do what they call a veto. So the bill returns to the Congress. So when the Senate and the House vote the bill by 2/3 majority, the president's power is overruled and the bill becomes a law immediately. So that is how the bill becomes a law. And I thank you very much.